Alrighty, here we are for round one. Round one, fight. This actually looks like a fairly reasonable opener. Got a 2-drop, it can block, it can attack. We've got a 3-drop. It can block, it can attack. These are things that I like my magical cards to do. Opponent has mulled to 6, kept, put their card on the bottom. I wasn't saying we don't have a galvanic thingy. Get out of F6 value while I can, because we can't do it anymore with the Alchemist out. Guess who's not attacking? They don't know that yet, but they're not. This guy taps a creature, right? Yeah. It's got a nice little curve out here. Pretty happy about that. Doop, doop, doop. No attacks for you. Nope, you no attack. We'll get to tap it again with the Storm Rider Spirit because of what it does with the words. Or not, or not. That is not going to work like you want it to, which is interesting. If they'd let the first one resolve, it would have, but they didn't, so it's good to be me. And I also hope you weren't planning on casting any spells that use black mana next turn. Yeah, they just doing that with the other one on the stack doesn't work because it has to actually be in your graveyard to do anything. Well, I probably just want to do another Innkeeper. But let's see if they want to trade here. Because how much is that to flip? 5? Okay, yeah, I don't want to just give them the mana to flip it. And keeping them off the color is relevant. Like if they want to swing at me for 5, they've got to spend their turn to do it, and then we're swinging back for 7. Okay. You've certainly got a plan. So I kind of feel like, let's see, that's 6, 7 this turn, and then 6, 7 next turn. I kind of feel like we just do the thing with the stuff. Which is to say, we play the Storm Rider Spirit. Like, do I need to chump block? I don't think so. Because this guy's going to get in 2 damage next turn as well. So let's do a little bit of math here. If I take 5, I go to 10, and then he'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If he's got a fireball, okay, I can't see what's going to kill me here. That doesn't mean there's not something, just that I don't know what it is. Because they're going to need 2 blockers here for the ground pounders. Yeah, that just doesn't matter. And even if they have it, I can just swing with the Storm Rider Spirit and be fine. Okay, there are the 2 blockers, which is fine. Let's start with a pour. See if we can hit anything good. Not really. That's alright. Another flyer's not bad. So we swing team here, they get to lose that, blah blah blah. It's not really great for us, but we can just kill them in the air with a Storm Rider Spirit, Ernie, and pings, which is just fine. Like currently they're just dead to that next turn. So I don't see a reason to get too freaked out. I kind of do have to block everything because like an Uncaged Fury would be lethal. Plus various burn spells. So just, I think, take the obvious blocks. Which I think look like this. I mean, this guy's 1 damage next turn. This guy's potentially 2 damage next turn. So we'll just block here. I think I still beat the neg 13/13 spell, but it won't be particularly easy. That's one thing I might should have thought about. Lightning Axe on that guy, Madness out this guy. Okay, okay. We're still playing Magic. They are dead to a spell, which I don't have very many spells. They're also dead to me, I guess, surviving another turn. Okay. So don't die this turn, Travis. And don't kill that witch. Beginning to see why I didn't have the good red spells. I'm actually going to trade here because I think it's the last turn of the game, and taking 6 is a lot safer than taking 7 when there's 3 mana burn spells in a format. I'd way rather be at 4. Alrighty. That was a fun game of Magic. Bloop. Alright, so we're up against black-red. Is there anything that I want to change here? Like, you'd think Turnicide would be really good, and they do have removal spells, and it's not a bad card to have. It looks like they're more trying to play big things than anything else. I think I do like the Chilling Grasp. We got plenty of dudes. I don't like that I'm playing a Furtive Homunculus and happy about it. The Galvanic Bombardment kind of sucks. I mean, the fact that they have 2 of them and I have 1 is the part that sucks. Yeah, we didn't even draw like our big stuff. We've got some stuff and things in the deck that can do things. Is Cultist Staff reasonable in this deck? It might be. It looks like they got a lot of 3/3s too. Yeah, the only question I can think of is whether or not I want a Turnicide. And I think I do. I'm not sure what I want it for. Maybe what's like my worst creature. It's either the Homunculus or the Deranged Whelp. You know, I can get behind the Homunculus not being particularly good. It's vulnerable to all the kill X1 effects. And it doesn't block the 3 power dudes our opponent has very well. Let's skip Turnicide and stay in the sun. This could be its time to shine. It's probably not, but it could be. I do strongly believe that every card has a moment where it can do something amazing. Even Squire. Even Squire. Well, we've got it here, and this is testing in that I have often said people mulligan too often. This hand would be keepable with a Furtive Homunculus. It is currently not at all keepable, but I still think I'm supposed to keep it, in that if we draw any 2-drops or 3-drops, we're pretty happy, and we've got some time to do it. Turn-Aside does not counter Sinister Concoction, by the way. The card draw may seem like a disaster because it's a 5-drop, but it's kind of okay. It gives us something to do with all this mana and a combo with Turn-Aside. And if we're just going to sit here and stare, I'm kind of happy with a slow hand. Okay. So do we want to get Enlightened? Not really until we've cast something. I think it's just time to Innkeeper tap down that mountain and maybe trade him off and be okay with it. Like, the Witch is a problem, yes, but it's probably one that I can eventually deal with. And taking 4 a turn is worse than taking 1 a turn, I think. Like, if I've got time to pour over the pages, I kind of want to play the Enlightened Maniac because, like, he's got a removal spell already up for the Storm Rider Spirit, but I guess it makes more sense to play that and make him do something. Yeah, we'll just pass. Like, there's a chance they tap out and we're able to at least get in for 3 with the Storm Rider Spirit. That was an interesting choice of mana tapping there. Right, so I can tap that guy. Like, I'd like to Enlighten Maniac and Fogwalker here, but it kind of doesn't do what I want to do. So I think we're actually going to start off with a pour, as I want that in the graveyard anyway. We now have plenty of lands to discard. Do I want to just have a Fogwalker in play for little value? I guess because I'm probably casting this in the not too distant future. So next turn is either cast both of these, taking 4 both times, going down to 10 with a drain on board. So I can have this in play hitting my opponent or not. Yeah, I think I've got to accept that this is the Fogwalker of no value and I need to play a 2-drop, because if we draw any other cards, we're not going to have time to actually play it. And if they try to use something else to kill my dude, we've got this nifty Turn-Aside. Like, I get that this is not ideal, but here we are. So I can hit for 2, play the Maniac and the Whelp. I can just hit for 3, play the Maniac and the Whelp. That sounds a little better. Is it though? Is it? So what are my blocks? I can't block that. I could chump it with the Maniac. Do I really care about that. I could also just get rid of this guy for the Vexing Scuttler at some point. I just need to make sure I don't die is what the problem is. Because, you know, dying's bad, okay? Can I play this and the Scuttler in the same turn? Let's see, that's 4. And that's 7. So yeah, I could actually play the Maniac into the Scuttler. That seems like a pretty good turn. Let's do that and then make them use this, I guess. And then we'll have more card draw. I can get behind that. I think they're just going to burn this guy, which leaves us with a pretty good board state. I'm kind of hoping they do. It's just an immense amount of patience. I approve. The Eldrazi are coming. And we're going to be drawing some more cards. So as long as we don't die first, it's going to be pretty good. They got a lot of them there Madness Vampires. Alright, this is the part we knew was going to be difficult. I do think this is the turn we have to discard. What? We have to discard. This is the turn we have to survive. And it looks like we're gonna. I'm probably going to have to start blocking stuff now and just value out that card. Let's start with a pour. Wretched Griff is okay. I really just need to be able to like survive. I can cast the Innkeeper, double block this, still hit for the damage, and keep up turn aside, so the double block isn't quite so risky. Yeah, I think I like that, and that continues me hitting for 3 a turn while we do it. Okay. Let's do that, and if I'm going to do that, I should probably do it pre-combat just to keep a land locked down. I give them a little less mana to work with. It is not entirely relevant. Now we've got a pretty good double blocking situation coming up here, and we can be relatively safe about it because of the turn aside. I guess the downside is maybe they have a pump spell, but we're about as protected as we can get. This is not really worth doing because I just don't need that. But I'll need to be able to use my mana this turn. Alright, so I can play the Harvest Hand and this for 6 mana. I can basically dump my hand this turn. I think I probably like doing that. I could also just cast the Wretched Griff. Let's start there. I don't need to emerge it. Yeah, that looks fine to me. The only question was, would I rather have the Harvest Hand as an equipment, and I don't think so. I got to get as much power on the board as I can so that we can kill them before they just gain life and wreck me. So let's run all the dudes out and see if we can race one drain a turn. The 6 power of flying will help. We can double block that again if we want to, and they're out of cards. I guess that's the argument for playing the Harvest Hand. Actually, I can chump block it if I want to. And then just plan on killing them with the flyers. I may do that. Well, if I double block this, they're basically unblockable. It just walks into a combat trick like nobody's business. I don't want to deal with that. I think I can kill them with the flyers. Because I'm kind of happy to chump with the Harvest Hand next turn. Like, that's what it's for. Nibbles. Alright, this is basically, can you kill me this turn? Because I think I can kill you next turn. I'd really like to not have to block with the Niblis of Dusk too, but even through a removal spell, we should still be able to get them with the Harvest Hand. Because they'll go to 5. Let's say they kill this. Well, I guess at instant speed I don't beat them because I'm only getting in for 4. If they've got like a murder. Infectious Curse is still a real card. Like, it's actually tough to play against. So is resolving Pour over the pages twice in a game. I mean, that feels pretty good. I don't mind limited decks that are predominantly dudes. I wonder if Turn Aside is main deckable. I kind of think not, but it's really close. Like, it's such a cheap answer. And I mean, your opponents are going to have stuff that targets your dudes. How safe would we feel if we'd drawn the tap 2 dudes spell instead of either of these? I think this is the deck that can play that spell and be happy about it. I don't think there's many decks that can, but I think this is certainly one of them. A blue-red deck with a lot of dudes. It's kind of the last turn of the game. They either kill me here or they don't. And I will try to make the decisions that lead to them not killing me. Obviously, that would be a little better. Alright, so they killed Nibbles. They discarded their hand. So they are just stone dead on board. I like that. I really like that. I think that is exactly what you should do. I don't have to equip, but I'm going to because it's fun. Blurp. Look at me. I'm made out of fog, and I can hold this stick with the pointy thing on it. Alright, cool. I feel like we dodged a pretty good deck there, as Nahiri's Wrath is kind of unbeatable. I've played with that card more than I have any right to have. I had it in 2 sealed pools and a draft, and it's been just amazing every time I've seen it. So feels good to make it through round 1. I'll see you guys for round 2 in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning in.